And welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins. In the last episode, Daru finally finished making his repairs on the time machine that Suzuha needs to jump back to the year 1975, even though we all know at this point that once she leaves, we can never see her again, because the time machine can only go back in time, not forward. We have SERN to thank for that, unfortunately, but for some reason Mayuri has a very important announcement that she wants to declare. Mayuri suddenly raises her hands and calls for attention, and she seems really overjoyed for some reason. As usual, she completely fails to sense the gravity of the situation, though I suppose it's our fault for not telling her about the truth about Suzuha's time machine. But in any event, she has my attention, and probably everyone else here as well. What could her announcement possibly be? Well, I suppose we're about to find out. Could Mayuri have found out that she's fated to die? No, I seriously doubt that, given the fact that she's beaming rather happily. I quickly glance at Kurisu, but she seems just as confused as I am. I think we're all confused at this point. Then what is it?
Mayushi はですね、すずさんのお父さん見つけました。
That's quite the announcement. So somehow Mayuri actually managed to find Suzuha's father? That's definitely news to us.
Huh? マジ?
Mayuri puffs out her chest proudly.
会いたいよね。というわけで、今日はお父さんに来ていただいてます。
Is he hiding behind one of the doors here at the radio building? Or is he couldn't possibly be in the time machine, obviously, so is he hiding in a corridor somewhere?
どこ?
Everyone, including me, starts looking around. Mayuri has us hook, line, and sinker. This is a prank. That's actually a pretty convincing one, I must say. I scan the empty event hall, but there's no one else here. Is he outside? Where could he be?
それでは発表します。すずさんのお父さんは
Apparently she knows who Suzuha's father is, so I shouldn't hold the suspense, drag on to the suspense for much longer. And the answer is... And that's Mayuri's rather hilarious drum roll.
うお、セルフドラムロール?
I just said that, Daru.
ジャクちゃん、すずさんのお父さんは
And now Mayuri is the one dragging out the suspense. Mayuri flashes Suzuha grins. He seems fairly confident that she knows the identity of Suzuha's father.
ダルくんです
Is that supposed to be a joke? She thrusts her finger at Daru. Our mouths drop. After awkward silence comes awkward laughter.
そのロジックはジョークになってないでしょう。そもそもこの変態が結婚なんてできるわけないし。
Yeah, it's... Kurisu's disdain of Daru aside, it's Yeah, I don't really know what to make of all this.
その言い草ひどくね
And Daru's sulking, as he usually does.
いや、クリスティーナの言い草に全面的に同意する。ダルは30歳を超えて魔法使いにクラスチェンジするのが確定だ。
He did say that he intended to become a fully wizard class hacker. And for some reason Daru didn't speak there, but as you guys can see, he can't object. And he sinks into the ground somehow, or just collapses. Daru falls into his hand and knees, devastated. ORZ. As for Suzuha herself, she clearly doesn't know how to react.
そもそも私の父さんこんなに太ってなかったよ。もうみんなダル君に冷たいよ。
And Mayuri is apparently sticking up for Daru. I suppose someone has to.
うわ僕をかばってくれるのはマユシだけだよなんという天使さては僕に惚れてるな
I thought you were in the Fairus Nyan Nyan camp there, Daru. And with one word, Mayuri completely shuts down Daru with a happy smile on her face. Commiserations. Harsh. Indeed.
あのね、マユシーの推理だとダル君は絶対にすずさんのお父さんなの。
100 million%, eh? That's impossible.
じゃあ聞かせて
Everyone
よ。
knows that you can't go
どう証
above
明したのか。
100%. And Kurisu, ever the scientist, asks Mayuri what exactly her reasoning is.
ピンバッジに書いてある文字のことをね、ずっと考えてたんだ。
Apparently, she was focusing on the letters on the pin.
でね、じーって見てたら7010の7の部分がちょっと変だなって気づいて。
Well, it certainly was an odd designation.
これはね、7じゃなくて2なんだよ。下の横棒がかすれて消えちゃってるだけ。
Well, that's that is certainly an interesting speculation. Probably have to take a closer look at the ring, at the pin itself. No, it's not a ring. What am I talking about? Suzuha stares at the inscription on the pen again. Indeed, now that we actually have a proper look at it, it is rather a odd configuration for it to be a 7. I don't think it could be a 7, but it's pretty sure that if you did put a line across here, as Mayuri is saying, so it's not 7010 or 7010, it's 2010, which would make it the year 2010.
小さすぎてよくわかんないけど。
Although it is this isn't actually its real size, it is actually much smaller than this.
デジカメで撮った画像を拡大するとね、
Although we do have the picture, obviously, as Mayuri has just explained to us.
2010って西暦のこと？まさに今年のことじゃない。
だったら最初のアルファベットは何を意味するんだ？
Indeed, OSM, or OSHM asterisk 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 A. That's Oshim something A. It's definitely an odd acronym. Is it some kind of organization or something? That's what's inscribed on the pin.
簡単だよ。
But apparently, Mayushi seems to have figured out the secret behind these letters.
椎名、橋田、牧瀬。でもって、あまね。
So Mayushi's reasoning is that these letters are not an acronym at all, but in fact the surnames of each of the members of the Future Gadget Laboratory. Rintaro Okabe, Mayuri Shina, Itaru Hashida, Kurisu Makase, and Suzuha Amane. That's actually pretty decent. That's actually pretty decent logical reasoning from Mayuri of all people.
Sure.
And now that she's actually said it out loud, we can't actually discount that possibility. It was right in front of us all along. We just didn't know where to look.
これラボ面の頭文字じゃん。
Well, we can't exactly disprove that. We can't, well,
って考えたらね、
we can't
ラボ
prove
面の
it.
年だって思って。
But apparently 2010 is the year of the lab mems of the Future Gadget Laboratory.
未来ガジェット研究所ができたのは今年だもん。
Yeah. Excuse me, I just had to yawn there, so I turned the microphone off. But, I seem to recall Rintaro actually saying that the Future Gadget Laboratory itself was founded early 2010.
そういうことか。
So that's apparently another clue. The year and the initials.
すずさんから聞いた未来の話にはオカリンとクリスちゃんの話は出てくるけどダルくんの話はちっとも出てこなかったでしょ。
Well, that's actually, come to think of it, that is actually true. We didn't hear once about Daru from Suzuha. Although we could have probably
それを
chalked
言う
that
なら
up
マユシだ
to
って。
we could have actually chalked that up to not meeting Daru at any case. But as Daru has just pointed out, we haven't heard any stories about future Mayushi as well. Daru's observation startles me. It's an obvious thing to wonder about, but it strikes too close to home. Especially given the fact that Mayuri is fated to die some point this evening.
マユシーはラボ面だけどタイムマシンは作れないし争い事も好きじゃないから。
But still, you probably would have heard something from Suzuha. Unfortunately, the reasons there aren't any stories is because she dies in a few hours. Only Kurisu, Suzuha, and I know that, and we say absolutely nothing to her whatsoever.
でも
Which is
ね、
definitely for the
ダル
best.
くんはスーパーハッカーだしオカリンの右腕だし電話レンジちゃんだってオカリンとダルくんの2人で作ったんだから名前が出てこなくちゃおかしいと思うの。
Though, once again, Mayuri does have a point, since Daru did assist Okabe with Rintaro with helping with developing the phone wave TBA. So she found it odd that there was absolutely no mention of him.
名前が出てこない。すなわち名前を偽っているっていうことね。
Could be possible.
すずさんがいたレジスタンスを作った人の中にはオカリンとバレルタイターさんもいたんでしょ。
Well, actually, to be honest, Suzuha never actually mentioned barrel tighter in conjunction with Rintaro.
2010年の秋葉にいた人で
Well, to be honest, at the time, we weren't really sure about that,
タイムマ
Mayuri.
シンを独自に研究できる人で
I mean, true, barrel tighter, if he is indeed Daru, did construct the time machine, but
オカリンのリーディングシュークリームを
that's not entirely correct.
リーディングしたいな。
それについて知ってる人ね、ダルくんならぴったりでしょ
I don't think Daru currently knows about reading Steiner or even cares for it at that point, but
それにね、すずさんがお父さんと会おうとしていた日のこと覚えてる
indeed, that was the time travel meet.
タイムマシンオフ会に行けばお父さんに会えると思ったんだよね
And I'm starting to see where Mayuri's logic is leading us at this point. And of course we know because we told her in the first place.
ちなみにダルくんもそのオフ会に行こうとしてたでしょ
Indeed. Yeah, that's entirely correct.
あれは日本 SF 史を語る上で重要なオフ会だったんだマジで。まあ天音氏の尾行ついでに潜り込めたからラッキーだったけど。
I don't remember that. It must have been because of the D-mail I sent. Indeed, the one that we actually... I think that was the D-mail in which we were actually went to try and pursue Suzuha. This is the curse of reading Steiner. Although I keep my memories from previous world lines, I don't acquire memories of events on new world lines, which is
父さんから
kind of a
そのオ
drawback.
フ会の話を聞いたことがあって子供の頃のことだからうろ覚えだったけどとにかく行けば会えるかなって思ったんだ
That explains how Suzuha learned of the time travel meet.
じゃああの会場で僕に会ってたらそれで解決だったって話
Yeah, it was kind of Rintaro's fault that Daru didn't make it there, which is probably why Suzuha was so despondent, even though we tried to amend things and that didn't quite turn out so well. But
どうかなその時点では橋田至お父さんだとは認識できなかったかも
yeah, and that's the problem with Suzuha's finding her father, is the fact that in the present that he would be a teenager, and since she doesn't know a lot about him, it would have virtually been almost impossible for her to find him in 2010. But the evidence apparently keeps piling up that Daru is in fact barrel tighter.
あとねタイムマシンの名前 FG204 なんとかかんとかって言うんだけどなんだっけ
And see, apparently bringing up the designation of the time machine, FG204.
FG204 セカンドエディションバージョン 2.31
Second edition version 2.31. Now that is a clue. Every other piece of evidence possibly linking Daru to being Suzuha's father was certainly impressive, but all of it could have very well, in fact was very much circumstantial. But this designation system We've heard it before.
そのネーミングセンスは間違いなくダル。
Indeed. Remember the moments where Daru named named the phone wave TBA? He named one of the upgrades version 1.03. Third edition, I believe. I'd have to recheck the episodes, but
それに FG はね、きっとフューチャーガジェットの略だと思うんだ。
and the final piece falls into place. The FG does indeed stand for Future Gadget. So Suzuha's time machine is Future Gadget number 204. 204 Future Gadgets. That is a lot of gadgets.
最後に名前、バレルタイターさんはね、ダルくんしか考えられないよ。
That one is a bit of a miss. I don't see how Barrel, Taito, and Daru have anything in common, unless you mean his size,
そういえば昨
obviously.
日の夜マユリからバレルの意味を教えてって聞かれたけど
Apparently, Mayuri asked how to say barrel in Japanese.
バレルはね、樽って意味なんだよね、クリスちゃん。
Apparently, barrel is taru in Japanese. That, I suppose that's correct. Kurisu nods.
タルタルダル。
Although, that's a bit of a kind of grey area there. That's too vague, to be sure.
ダジャレでねでね、すずさん、橋田至るって10回言ってみて。
Although, actually, come to think of it, Daru's actual first name is Itaru, which would translate as barrel.
なんで？
Apparently, Mayuri wants Suzuha to say Daru's name 10 times fast.
言えばわかるよ。
So apparently she wants her to say Itaru Hashida.
橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る。
That's, I don't know what that proves.
ダイターって聞こえなかった？
That's, a bit of a stretch.
聞こえた。
But apparently Kurisu thought it did.
橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る。
マジで？
So apparently, for some reason, Mayuri managed to get Taita out of Hashida, Itaru, which is kind of an odd amalgamation there.
マジです。
But Mayuri seems fairly happy. I can't believe it. But with all this evidence laid out in front of me, I can't deny it either. I think the key crucial evidence is the fact that this is Future Gadget number 4, 2nd edition, version 234 or something. That is pretty much the key Phoenix Wright evidence that is necessary to crack this case. Everyone's jaw drops again, only this time we're staring at Daru and Suzuha.
とってもお似合いの親子だと思うな。
プラシーボ効果かしらね。言われてみれば二人が似てるような気もしてきた。
お手柄だな。名探偵椎名真由里だ。
Indeed. Make way for the super detective Mayushi. The mystery has been solved.
そんなこと言われたの初めてだよ。
So it turns out that the super hacker Daru, real name Itaru Hashida, is in fact Suzuha's father and the man who will eventually come to be known as Barrel Tighter. Mayuri's such a ditz most of the time, but maybe she's more perceptive than anyone realizes. And as for Daru and Suzuha...
ああ、娘天音が僕の
And now we basically have a... yeah, the time effect of actually... yeah. Not much I can say at this point. Daru, wide-eyed, points at Suzuha while flapping his lips like a fish out of water.
父さん。
そういう時はパパと呼びなさい。
Now is
こ
not
ん
the
な時
time,
ぐらい変
Daru.
態はやめろよ。
父さん。
Suzuha tries to hold back her tears, but can't. They fall from her eyes and roll down her cheeks.
おー
This is definitely a shock to us all, and most importantly Daru, but we can't deny the evidence anymore. Seeing this, Daru stops his joking and lets Suzuha speak.
私来たよ。父さんに会うために。父さんが作ったタイムマシンに乗って。
And it seems that this encounter hasn't created a time paradox, which is fortunate for us.
父さんのやろうとしていたことを私が絶対やり遂げるから。
Although we do have a kind of chicken and the egg paradox of some kind, because Daru technically hasn't started anything yet, at least as far as 2010.
だから
But none of that really matters now, does it?
見てるよ。絶対見てるよ。
Suzuha walks up to Daru and hugs him gently. Daru awkwardly but firmly hugs her back. This is certainly a very disconcerting situation here. Father and daughter, reunited across time. I'm truly glad we could bring them together.
ちなみに君の母さんは可愛かった？ロリ顔で背が小さくてだけど巨乳っての希望。
Unfortunately, in 2010, Daru is still the hardcore otaku.
それは内緒にしとく。
When Suzuha finally steps away from Daru, she's smiling once again.
さてと、これでこの世界線への未練はきれいさっぱり断ち切れたから。
Well, I suppose that now that Suzuha's mission here in 2010 is complete, her personal mission, by the way, I think we can finally say that Suzuha Mane now has no more regrets in going back to 1975.
そろそろ行くよ。
And with that, a great burden has been lifted
待て！
from her shoulders.
もう行くのか。父親と積もる話があったりしないのか。
What am I doing? Suzuha's mind is set. I know that nothing I can say will convince her to stay. It's madness to even try. If she stays, Mayuri dies. I know that. So why am I trying to stop her?
私は大丈夫。きっと IBN5100 を手に入れてみせるから。
She looks at us with the face of a warrior.
未来を変えるのは君たちにかかってる。私は荷物をこの秋葉原に絶対持ってくるから。そしてお願い。未来を変えてほしい。
We'll certainly do our best. Nobody speaks, nobody nods. We don't have the words. But she sees it in our faces. Resolve. Suzuha has entrusted us with her will and her mission. We meet her gaze, each of us, and silently swear to protect them to the very end. The future Suzuha came from is not the future that we desire. In Suzuha's time, Daru and I fought against SERN to change it. This time, we'll make sure that it never happens altogether. Mayuri will live, Kurisu will be free. Suzuha will grow up knowing her father. We must change the future, that all these things may come to pass.
それじゃ35年後に会おうね。君たちにとっては数時間後か。
Indeed, the worldline effect.
あ、そうそう。タイムマシンが時間跳躍するとき、紫外線光がすごいから直視しない方がいいよ。
And unfortunately, none of us have protective sunglasses to deal with that, so we'll make sure not to blind ourselves inadvertently. With that final warning, Suzuha boards the time machine. She waves once, and then the hatch closes behind her. Moments later, the machine comes to life, and outside on the streets, the people will be staring up, pointing in awe at the blinking lights on the time machine. And that is very bright indeed. A shrill alarm starts ringing. There are no other sounds. It makes less noise than I'd expect, and I doubt it's going to make the whirring noise of the TARDIS as it disappears through time. You all know the sound I mean. People on the street below suddenly start shouting and cheering at the satellite's sudden activity. They're all looking up and pointing. My phone vibrates. I quickly take it out and open it. The mail is from Suzuha. And it's under the name of John Titer. Thanks. Goodbye. But this time, this goodbye is one of hope, not of despair. But still, it is goodbye. When I failed to stop her on her previous worldline, she sent me the exact same message before leaving. But this time, the word holds a completely different meaning. I lift my eyes from the message to see the space around the time machine begin to warp. A cocoon of light appears and envelops the fuselage. I squint my eyes against the brilliance. That is truly bright indeed. We will never see her again. Not this Suzuha. Yes, we can seek her out in our own time. I know that I will make the effort. But the next time we meet, an immense gulf of time will have divided us. No matter how hard we wish it were different, she will not be the girl we knew. All of a sudden, Daru takes a step into the light.
Suzuha! きっとまた会おうな!
This must truly be heartbreaking for Daru. To learn that his own daughter has come back 26 years from the future, only to travel back 35 years into the
僕
past.
その時まで頑張るから頑張るだなんてとっさにこんな言葉しか出なくて自分のボキャブラリーの貧弱さが嫌になるけどさ
Well, I sincerely doubt that anyone is blaming you for not knowing,
と
given
に
the
かく僕は
situation.
頑張るから鈴葉も頑張ってな
And I'm pretty sure that the rest of the future Gadget Lab members will also do their best. His words probably can't reach her anymore. As the lights grow more intense, I raise my hand to shield my eyes. Bathed in radiant particles, the cocoon slowly unfurls. And with that, the time machine vanishes. The next thing I know, it has completely vanished into thin air, leaving the hole the size of a dump truck in the radio building's wall. Unfortunately, we're now visible to the outside public, so we should probably get out of here while we still can, without being seen. The air is thick with the smell of ozone, and seems to pulse softly where the machine stood. Also, we should probably watch out for any falling debris from the roof. We stand there for a while, staring silently at the empty spot where the summer breeze blows gently past, as if the wind were fate itself. And thus Suzuha Amane has left 2010 behind her. Unfortunately, we don't have time to mourn her departure. In about an hour and a half, Morika's group will attack the lab. Before that happens, we need to acquire the IBN 5100 that Suzuha went to 1975 to obtain. The time machine's sudden disappearance has thrown the area into chaos, which makes it easy for us to slip out unnoticed. See you in 35 years, Suzuha said. 54-year-old Suzuha should be here in Akiba. Before we left, we decided that the time machine's disappearance would be our cue to bring the IBN 5100 to the lab. But when we return to the lab, there's no 54-year-old woman waiting for us. It seems that Suzuha hasn't come yet. That's somewhat ominous. Although, I'm not sure what we were expecting. Apparently, we've all been running straight back to the Future Gadget Lab. Well, not that we really had much of a choice. Kurisu gasps for breath while Mayuri calmly munches on a banana. As I check the lab for any sign of Suzuha, a line of red numbers catches my eye. The meter reads 0.337187. The divergence hasn't changed. And reading Steiner didn't activate as well, so I suspected that this might be the case. Let's think this through. I thought the divergence would change the instant that Suzuha obtained an IBN in 1975, but maybe there's something else that needs to happen. Will it change the instant Suzuha hands me the IBN 5100? Well, that is a very good question, and one that is dependent on an entire number of factors. But I believe that is it for this episode of Let's Play Steins Gate. In the next episode, when we return, adventurers, we shall hopefully see if we can find the 54-year-old Suzuha before SERN surrounders intercept us, and we have to timely begin as a contingency plan. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.